Well, hello everybody. Welcome to Super Soldier Talk. And for those of you who don't know, my name is James Rink, and I am your host here today, like I usually am, always the host. And I was utilized as a super soldier in the secret space program, but today will not really be about me, or maybe it will be. We'll see, because we have our special guest, Robyn Hyatt. Okay. Robyn's was super soldier Valkyrie aspect went by the name of Fejb. She served under Alon,
Fejb.
who is the Fejb. Okay, she's served under Alon, who's the commander over the human race. Alon and Fejb are the sons and daughters of Archangel Michael. Alon is a member of the Blue Star Council of 12, a group of benevolent beings who oversee this universe, working closely with the Federation and Sanada, the cosmic Jesus. Within this group is the Infinity Starship, in which Robyn, as Fejb, was stationed on. On a mission, she was helping to liberate a slave planet and encountered James's super soldier aspect, who was the head general of the military on this, slave world. Fejb was ordered to take James out, but she refused the order, and instead, James surrendered, where he was taken to Zephyr, who is the Pleadian commander, and Condor, the lemurian commander. I guess those are on the Jupiter station, where he was deprogrammed and healed. Today, Robyn will be channeling Zephyr. So Robyn Hyatt exhibit psychic tendencies at a very young age. Her intense dreams of spirits that had crossed over and wanted to communicate with her began at a very young age. In her early 20s, Hyatt began working with detectives on local cold case files and missing persons, eventually expanding to nationwide cases. Years later, while helping a family on a cold case, Hyatt had a strange yet amazing apparition of a white Sasquatch named Natil, which she nicknamed White Canada. Is that correct? Natil? Yeah. Okay. She received messages from this white Sasquatch and began recording the message. I guess that would be on your YouTube channel, which the link is in the description. Robyn purchased a lemurian crystal, held it in her hands, and was transitioned to another time. She began to record what she saw and heard, compelling these channel messages into her first book, Inside the Lemurian Crystal. This gave her directions to more channelings. As she stayed in the light, she was attracted to those benevolent species, discovering her own existence with them. She has now documented over 40 benevolent species in her newest book. Do you have what is it called? What's your book called? Robyn, your book? Do you have a copy that you could show us?
The Benevolent.
The Benevolent, okay.
Yep, right here.
Okay, so that was about 40 benevolent species so that she channeled. Okay. Robyn also works full-time in the medical industry. Her hobbies are art, writing, and psychic readings for those who lost their loved ones through suicide or other means. She also enjoys connecting with kind spirits that have crossed over to the other side. And the healing is not only for loved ones here on Earth, but also for the spirit to heal of those that have taken their own lives. This Earth is truly the world of tears, that they call it. Planet Earth, they call it Planet Sean, right? Which means tears. Robyn has just put together a meetup group. Okay, so I don't have the link for that, but I got some other links to your Etsy shop and your Patreon. So how are you doing today, Robyn?
That's good.
Good.
I'm doing great. James, how are you?
Yeah, I made a mad rush over here. I'm trying to take a deep breath. So I know some people have commented that I might sound like I drank a little too much coffee, but I don't think I did this time, but I think the audience members could let me know in the description if they think I did. So, but today is not going to be about me. So I guess maybe it is, sort of.
Well, it might be.
Okay. Well, Robyn, so tell me, so I guess just give us a quick background, I guess, your story here. So how did it begin with you, and how did you get into this SSP type research?
So actually, when I discovered the Sasquatch apparition of Natil, she was giving me messages, and I was recording them, writing them down. And as I was writing them down, I realized how important these messages were to humanity and they're beautiful. And so I thought, I'm going to start a YouTube channel and just verbally talk about these messages. And so that's how I started. And then I just kept evolving. And I went into celebrity channeling. And then I started going a little bit deeper into more outside the celebrity, like aliens and people outside our universe. And I do remember asking one night, I want to see all the species in our universe. And a few nights later, this may sound really strange to some people, but I was woken up by a gurgling sound. And I looked over to my dresser, and there was a gray sitting on my dresser. And behind the gray was actually a frame. And then I noticed that, and I was sleep paralysis. And I noticed there was just a shooting amount of images of all these species. It was just one after another, after another, after another. And it was very interesting. The gray scared me quite a bit. I felt the hair on the back of my neck standing up when it would look at me. It didn't look at me the whole time. It kept its head down, looking like at its lap. But when it lifted up and faced me, I just grew very fearful of it. And so as I was looking past that gray at the images, I recognized these people. After that happened, I started wanting to find out who these people were that I was seeing, because I recognized some of them. And I'm of the benevolent. I don't cross over to the dark side at all. Even though some of the people and my, I would say, higher self, Fejb and Cassandra. Fejb is a warrior and Cassandra is an oracle. I consider myself an oracle. And interesting how you and I got connected was someone did a channeling that you posted, and they mentioned Zephyr and the ant people. And no one that I know of has talked about both those things, because the ant people are in my book and I've channeled them, and they come from the Hopi Indians. And then Zephyr, no one else has said that before. So we connected with you, my twin soul and I connected with you to talk to you a little bit how you're connected with Zephyr. So then I started delving deep into you. And I think I sent you a channeling session that I did about you. And now I just feel like we need to just kind of like bring this all together, because there's two sides here. There's the side of the Federation and the Blue Star, and the side of the SS soldiers. And I think it's something that needs to be, it needs to come together and work together. And so I feel like all of you guys that are SS soldiers, are soldiers down upon this earth, you have the opportunity, and you've been, I believe you've been somehow rehabilitated, and you're recalling your memories for a reason. And I think there's a really strong purpose that you're down here, and there is a reason I think that you're here. And that's kind of what I want to delve into.
Wow. Thank you for that, Robyn. So I got your video uploaded. Do you want me to play it, the 1 minute video? Should we play it right now?
Oh,
Would you like?
if you want to, it'll show the people that we're going to talk about.
Okay.
You are here, moving in our midst. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, working in this place. I worship you. I worship you. Are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. You are here.
Okay. Wow, that was interesting. Some Christian music to go along with some ETs.
I
So
know.
could you
That's who I
please
am.
explain what this was that we just looked at? And sorry guys,
So
I was trying to get to
all of
pop
that,
up, but it was a land no, not offense. It was like a portrait. So I need a land next time do like a landscape. So I
yeah,
can
yeah, that's because it was on my,
go
that's
ahead.
because it was on my shirts. That's my book. That's what my book is
Okay.
all about. Spent a year of channeling, and I did all the art, and then I also did their signatures. So all the signatures in there are from their species. So my twin and I, he's my twin soul, he edited and has structured it. And we put a 420 book page book together in a year. I think it was maybe a year or less than a year. We were driven to do it. It happened. We felt to do it. And just so you know, this is Zephyr. He's Pleiadian. So that's Zephyr. That's your guide now, James.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's try
That's probably as big as he is.
let's try this way. No.
You still
Wait, I'm
want it
gonna
up?
make you there we go. Okay. Oh wow.
So that's
Uh,
Zephyr. He's Pleiadian.
Okay, so Zephyr is stationed on, I think you said Jupiter or Saturn or command station.
He's on the planet Newell. And
Uh,
well, no, he's on Newell. Newell is his planet, Nule, and then he is pretty much on a ship most of the time. And they are they work with the Blue Star Council of 12, and it's all benevolent beings, and they're under the directive of Sanada, which is the Jesus. And I also wanted to tell you guys too, I don't know if you know this, but I was just doing another channeling, and the Magi, the three Magi that found Jesus, they were following a star. Well, it wasn't a star; it was a starship, and it was the Eastern Star, and it was Sanada's ship leading them to him.
oh wow.
So,
Let's.
but
So okay.
James, you asked. Okay.
Do you like this better? Is this better?
It's good. As long as you can hear me and I'm not breaking up.
Oh no, we hear you just fine. Just let me just try not to
Okay.
play around that too much. But so planet Nula is in the Seven Sisters. Newell. It's in one of the Seven Sisters.
Yes.
So it is the Pleiades.
Yes, it's a little bit past it.
Yeah. So the Pleiades, according to the Billy Meyer material, is about 150 light years from planet Earth, but it's actually another space-time dimension. Do you know about this, or is this correct?
Okay.
Or,
I know a little bit about it.
Okay. All right. So,
so he, I feel he's your guide right now.
Oh, did you say so? One of my guides?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, so how about this? Let's just back up a little bit to explain how this actually began for you. So, or I guess the memory, or it was through channeled information. Just give us a little summary, a little background of the story that you know, and then we can bring Zephyr in. So you were on a mission, right? Yeah, go ahead. Well, how about this? Just
you want me to tell you about this?
A Valkyrie is. Yeah. What is a Valkyrie?
Well, okay. So Fejb and Alon are the son and daughter of Michael the Archangel, and he has many, and he has legions of angels. He's one of the most mightiest fighters, and he's the one that fought. I don't say Satan, I call him Satan. So he fought Satan in the wars of heaven. And he casted him out. So can I cover this really quick? When Michael casted Satan out, different groups pulled apart from Satan. And this is something I got psychically today for you when you wanted to know about the secret space program, that the secret space program has many derivatives to it. And when that war of Satan and people pulled apart, or species pulled apart, there was a derivative of the Anunnaki revolution that developed, was one of the ones that developed. And they wanted to establish their own control and absorbent means, because the Anunnaki came down to take the gold off the earth and planetary control. They are thousands of star systems away from us in the Phoenix Nebula, which is a portal of indignation. They go to an Arctican binary system. And so how the Anunnaki is structured, and I think you in a life has been involved in this. The Anunnaki are tracers and trackers. And then the next step under the Anunnaki is the Draven Dracos, which are military organizers. Underneath that is the workers, which is the reptilians. And then fourth is where you come in, which is a human and other SS soldiers. So there is like a evolution of organization with your type of SS soldier organization. And I also got that by part, this is only one break off of the SSP. There are several with some different kind of successors in power. So I don't know if with your group of people, if they feel that they're with different groups of secret soldier programs. But that's what I got, that there's several.
Well, yeah, we have different planetary corporations and factions. Some of these factions don't get along with each other. Like, for instance, Monarch Solutions, super soldiers do not get along with the other ones. ICC is different because that's what I consider a very negatively aligned group. I could give you some names right now of some people in the community. Well, I could, but I'm not going to because I don't want you to. Anyway. But then there's other groups we have, even like we have Jean-Charles Moyen, who talks about how great Solar Warden was, but then we have people that were actually in it and say that it was not good, and then so that puts you to question, well, what actually took place? And I'm thinking people are going through maybe other dimensions, parallel realities, so it's quite a large, extensive category of subject. But and then we also have the Germans.
Yep. Yes, that's true. That's true.
So the Americans, Solar Warden through the Department of Navy, they still have that attitude that they want to get back at the Germans, but the Germans are way more advanced than anything here on planet. Solar Warden, so they don't even have a chance at this point. But so that is the state of the universe, and then we have groups like the Alpha Squad. So what happened with Alpha Squad is that they were a group of super soldiers that were slated for extermination, and they escaped. And then they teamed up with other super soldiers and created their own mercenary type group that started doing missions for pay. And then it grew and grew over to the point. So the Halo computer game and TV show now was basically about the Alpha Squad. So there's a lot of self-disclosure out there. So I'm going to stop talking and let Robyn fill in here. So would you like to add to any of that, or what do you think?
Yeah, no, that's totally exactly what I got. And with the team, the group, the association that I reside in, some of these SS soldiers, mercenaries that were on the dark side, the wrong side of the tracks, in planetary systems, that was our job, to go in and check it out, filter it, see if it can be combated. And so let me back up and talk about Valkyries. I kind of got sidetracked on that. So Valkyries, I don't know if you guys know that a Valkyrie will use either females. What they do, like let's say we have a corrupt planet, it's a slave trade planet. Valkyries will go in and they will see if anybody wants to be pulled out before the war begins. If you want to be saved, if you change your mind, you don't want to fight, we will take you out. So that's what the Valkyries do before the Legion angels go in. So we comb the whole planet and take out whoever wants to be taken out and rehabilitated or helped or whatever. Then once we have done our job, and then we have the Legion angels come in. And sometimes the Legion angels will follow us in too, if it's a really corrupt planet, to have our back, to make sure that we're not taken out when we go in. So, and we also have, I think I've talked to you about this, there's also warring dogs. There's large dogs that are trained that also are trained to go with each person, and they also protect the person or the Valkyrie or the Legion angel that goes in to walk the planet, go through the planet before we take it out. So you got the lemurians, you got the Pleiadians, you got all sorts of different species that pull together, work together as a team, and they go in to eradicate either a planet, or if it cannot be deemed sovereign, and if it's too evil, we take that out. And we save who needs to be saved off that planet. And that's where the Infinity ship comes in place. It's kind of a reparative ship. So if there's, let's say, children that are slave trade or other species, animals, anything like that, we get to them and we take them out and bring them onto the Infinity and take them to planets for repair.
Oh, wow. Okay, so this particular planet that you visited, the slave world, happened to have, I guess you were on a mission, and you want to describe what happened and who you met. Yeah.
So I think if I have the vision right, Alon, my twin, and I worked together. And so he was at my back, I was at the front, and we were fighting SS soldiers. These were non-compliant, going against the grade, and what I call evil. And we were fighting them. And then I had this, and it was really large man coming at me. This SS soldier was coming at me, and I couldn't shoot you. It was you, James, and you came at me, and our eyes met because all I could see was your eyes, because everything else was mechanical on you. And your mechanicalism is like a puzzle. Everything on you worked like a puzzle piece. And also I said that you had a red collar. And that red collar, it didn't paralyze you, but that red collar you used as like a computer chip with your mind. It linked with your mind. Whatever was around your neck linked with your mind and over your eye. And so you and I came at each other, and we just both stopped in the middle of all this fighting, because I knew you and you knew me. And Alon was yelling at me to kill you, and I couldn't kill you. So he said, I think he looked at me and he goes, "Do you know him?" And I said, "I know him." And so Alon, my understanding, there is some sort of shock mechanism that we can do on to SS soldiers with your material that you have on. He shocked you, and then he broke a circuit on you, which paralyzed you. Zephyr and Condor came up and said, "Kill him." I said, "No, I know him. You have to take him." And so then they took you. And so Condor, who is over the Lemurians, and you were confused on the Lemurians. So Lemurians are a race of people, and they pulled out and took some of the Atlanteans with them in a ship before of a certain catastrophic destruction that happened upon the earth. So he is a race. He's quite large and very muscular. And these guys have the best hair you'll ever see. I'm into long hair, and they have great hair. So they took you, um, to a reparative planet. I think they took you on board a ship. I don't know. I actually can't remember if they took you to a planet or if we were on a large ship. And they kept you in that paralyzed state. And we were trying to bring humanity back to you, because I remembered you before the Wars of Heaven. You had a family and you were a scholar and you were not a fighter. And so during this breakout, which I can go deeper into another time, of heaven, you refused to fight. And so because you're so intellectual and such a scholar, you refused to fight. So you got taken. And so that's where your life changed. You got taken from your family. But I knew you from that. I knew your eyes and I knew your family. And so when you and I crossed eyes, we knew each other from another time and realm. Does that make sense?
Oh, wow. So let's see here. So that was before the Luciferic Rebellion?
That was just, yes. So I'm starting at the very beginning of you.
Okay.
And
so when you say they
so-
took me, what are we saying? That the Draco took me? Probably because
yeah, the Anunnaki, everything that I just told you about the Anunnaki and the Draco and the reptilian, they brought you into their group because you had some sort of intelligence that they wanted.
supposedly my father was like the leader of the Atlans, and they had a mothership that, like, bigger than the size of planet Earth. And
Okay.
there was about 5 people that were taken by the Draco, and then they gassed us, and then they immediately shattered our consciousness and put us into different clone bodies. And it's been like, that's called under Project Surrogate. So according to ACO records that go back 50,000 years ago, basically I was still in Project Surrogate even as early 50,000 years. So this has been going on for a very long time for for us, for the people that were involved. But okay,
Yeah.
good. Could you comment, please,
Yeah.
on actual what was I like any different than the other super soldiers on that team? I think you said I was like,
they used your mind. You were so intellectual and so intelligent. They wanted your mind. And then they were also starting to form you into this magnificent soldier. And you talk about the black goo. What I see is an injection. Instead of drinking it, I see it injected. So I don't know if that's my opinion with this black substance. It totally alters and changes your DNA. It changes your form, every capsule inside your body. And a lot of times I don't think you can repair from that, if that makes sense.
Yeah. In my book, I write about it. Essentially, you have to die to take it out of you. So you have to go into a regen tank and get a whole new body regenerated. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did that. So, all right. So, but I was basically like a general, I think you said, or the leader.
You were high up. You were really high. You were right at the top, right next to the Anunnaki. I think you were at the top of the ladder, and you were strong and you're big and you're actually very fierce, and you had no fear. You had no fear, because I think when people rely on intelligence, it takes out the fear. They have no fear. Does that make sense?
Wow. And so I was basically like in a cybernetic body. Only a little bit was biological.
Well, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. So the Lemurian and the Pleadian, Zephyr and Condor, took you on the ship, and they're trying to work with your mind, trying to get your mind set back to humanity, where they could see if you could be rehabilitated. And the only way they could see you being rehabilitated is if you had emotion, and because you didn't have emotion. And so I came into the room. This is my vision. I came into the room, and you're still paralyzed with your head down. And I put my hand on your forehead, and I showed you your family through that and your life before. And you shed a tear when you saw that. And I grabbed the tear and I smiled, and I knew then we could rehabilitate you. And we were all smiling, and we go, okay, we got this, we can do this. And so my feeling is when super soldiers are allowed to come back upon this earth, they have to be rehabilitated. They can't come down with all the means that they had before. I think they have the memory of the means that they had before. You guys have great memories that you're recalling, but I feel that the higher source would not let you come back down. And I think you keep coming back down to earth again and again and again for reparative states. That being said, there are the Anunnaki and the others that have you coded. You're coded. You have a mark, so they can find you every time you change bodies. However you go through those successions, you have a code and sequency in you that they can track you and find you. And then I do believe it's what you do with that. That's what matters.
Wow, Robyn.
Sorry, I go really deep.
Thank you for sharing that. So I do have some questions, but maybe we should just bring Zephyr out, or maybe do you have any questions for me? Or maybe you ask, okay, so what do I remember? Well, I mean, I probably have to go under be put on regression, but let's see here. If I was to try to tune into that, yeah, well, let's see. I mean, I was following like I was plugged into an AI, and I was just doing what the computer, well, not the computer, the AI was expecting of me. I mean, I would suppose I would have like maybe an eye that was infrared. Probably I had a skull that was like there was a glass plate where they could take the glass plate up and put things in my brain, something like that. I was probably like maybe 9 foot tall. So, but maybe we should just bring the Zephyr out and ask him.
Okay. And I did ask if Montauk was true, and they said yes, that whatever happened to the people with Montauk, that did happen. That was a true situation.
Okay. So we'll ask. I will do some inquiries about Montauk, and then we'll ask about the cybernetics. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, and I want to know why they decided. I mean, oh no, I'm sorry. Let me back up. Have they picked? Is that common for them to rescue? They're at war. Is it common for them to take a body back, a person back, the captured person, and try to rehabilitate them? Is that pretty?
Yeah, if deemed necessary.
Okay.
If I don't, to be honest with you, I don't know that much about that. I just know of our situation. If they feel that the person can be rehabilitated, and it doesn't mean that you have to go my way. Does that make sense? It means that you can repair and go into more of the, I want to say the God code, because that's just where I derived from. So this is all from my side, because there's many different sides of everything, but my side is more of the God code.
Okay. All right. So yeah, go ahead.
So I don't know how your group is feeling about what I'm saying, but
yeah. I think we understand the concept. Thank you. All right.
so whenever you want me, do you want me to channel?
Yeah. Yes, please. I'm waiting. Yes, we're waiting.
Okay.
Thank you.
Give me a second.
Yes,
a second.
please.
So what I do on my channel as I talk to people how I'm going into my channeling. So
Okay.
I'm on a ship.
As Fejb.
As actually I go in as myself.
Okay. So your astral body has
So it's also almost like remote viewing.
okay. So you're
So
on what ship are you on right now? The Infinity?
I'm on the Blue Star.
The Blue
That's
Star?
my comfort
Okay.
ship. And there's a room with a large table, and in the center of the table is a large round ball. And the Council of 12 reside. They meet here. Many of the ships are in our system, and then they gather at the Blue Star, and they work with the federations of starships, Federation of Council, the Sentinels, the Elohim, Melchizedeks, many of the hierarchies.
How about Ashtar?
Ashtar is a little bit on the distance of us. They are in the segment of Federation. We don't meet directly with Ashtar, no. Zephyr is waiting for me. Oh, there is a group. You have heard of Akhenaten. Akhenaten has a planet. There is a group of people, Akhenatens, and he's large. He's like a giant, and he's
Are we
fierce.
talking Egyptian, a Kemet civilization?
Akhenaten was upon this earth, and he was one that understood the plan. He understood because his wife Nefertiti was an oracle. Many of you derivatives of soldiers will have oracles reside with you through your lives. They will give you information, and they will lead you, and they will guide you. Akhenaten tried to change the civility at that time before the Christ consciousness came, because his people were sacrificing. And we had sky people coming down upon the earth at that time and rising up from the earth. And they were not a good derivative for the planet. And they were teaching the people all ways
Of sacrifice.
sacrifice.
And those were like the shapeshifters, reptilian shapeshifter Dracos.
They were there. They were there. And they were following them. They followed them. But I could see who they were. I knew who they were. And Nefertiti eyes were on them. And they killed me. They killed me because I knew. And I was trying to make change. Super soldiers have two avenues of life, of means, of warriorship, of intelligence. You can go one way or you can go another. You must be mindful of your own intelligence, and you must be mindful of your mental state, because it can fool you if you let in certain entities. You're here because you have a second chance. You remember because you should not remember. None of you should remember anything that you are going through. You should not remember this, but you are, because they are opening your codes and sequences. So you are. They're trying to unbalance you with your memories because they don't attain to you at this time in this life. You don't need them, but you have them. So you need to work with that. It is okay to study it. It is okay to absorb information, but do not let it deceive you in your choices of your life. Does this make sense to you?
Certainly, yeah, we can. Yeah, just trying to. The memories could potentially make us schizophrenic. I mean, a lot of them are, especially if you've been cloned out in numerous bodies. You could be operating 100 lives at the same time, and yeah, that's a lot of memories.
And this is true, and it's catastrophic for you. We are here to settle things down. If this makes sense to you,
Mm-hmm.
we want you to be successful. There is going to be a time, because the earth is going through an evolvement. It's going to evolve into a different state. And you can feel it, don't you? You feel something coming. You don't know what it is, but you feel it coming. You people of this segment need to stand ready. And you may be called out to serve, to fight, and to understand, and to use your words, just as James is here to bring this community together for greater understanding and knowledge. But you must stand strong in your own 2 feet, because some of your memories are harsh, and some of them should not be remembered. And we are sorry that some of you went through such harshness. We wish this was not so, but we had no means to help. We did not know that many of these things were happening to so many of you. But now you know, and now you can work together as a community. James has created this community, and this community needs to be sound. And it's a sounding board of your truths, of your memories. So now, James, it is your choice now to bring forth reparative, because some that I see are hurting because they don't understand. And there's many out that will not speak these truths and do not understand who they are and why they think these things. So it is your job to reach out, bring them in, and let them know that they are not different. Does this make sense to you?
Yeah. Yes. Thank you, Akhenaten.
Questions?
Okay. Certainly. So, does the Federation benefit from the what you would call the secret space program? Like, do they benefit from trades, or so are they benefiting from the secrecy? So they're also in a way silent about the abuses being taken place by our groups, or how would they respond to that?
We go after their abuses. We nullify those abuses. We do not tolerate that. We will take them out if they will not conform or give us those that they're abusing. We do work with some. There are some SSPs that are neutral, and they stay neutral and they stay under the radar. We will watch them and we will work with them, and they know how strong we are.
Okay.
We have an intelligence that is vast and wide. We have a web of codes and sequences that covers every single universe. We know everything that is going on. We have certain species that attain this information. And if there is one inkling out of that web, we know what we need to do.
Certainly. And I'm assuming the Federation or the Blue Star Council adopts the rules of non-interference. So if that's the case, humanity has got an issue where we have one group who have access to the secret space program, and they have the knowledge, and they are a spacefaring civilization. But we have another group who are not aware of it. And but we have a situation where my labs are being taken place, where people are being abducted, and they're not getting the help they need because of this policy of non-interference. But basically, we are being interfered with, and the Federation, it seems to be okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry, but
Yes, the policy of interference is twofold. Your people are interfering. People on planet Earth are interfering. They are going against the God code of laws. They are broken every day. They use you people for their own gain. They trade you for information. You people are robbing yourselves of humanity. You could blame it on the Draco. You can blame it on the reptilians that are under your earth. You can blame it on them. But you people are the ones giving yourselves. Once you stop this process, which this is what's going to be attained, this is where your program is going to come into play, that you are going to rev up with your memories, your strength, your knowledge, and intelligence, and you will stop this. And this will be one of the wars on your planet and in your planet. In the Antarctic is where the strongest hold is.
Is that because there are pre-Adamites down there, or the Germans in base 211? What's the biggest?
The Germans are one of the most evilest offsets of Satan. They have been problematic. They are a thorn in our sides, but we can't rid them. We can't get rid of them. They have been on planet Earth since the beginning of its space. Actually, the truth of planet Earth, before the Eve code came upon, there was a war, several wars on your planet. Who will win this planet? And they secured themselves in the planet, and we secured ourselves on the planet.
Interesting. Okay. So, well, there certainly are different breakaway civilizations underground that we have. For instance, the Kemet civilization under Trinidad called El Dorado. And most of these different civilizations have a policy of also of non-interference. So are we going to see them finally coming forward and maybe interfacing with humanity to help also expel the evil? Or they
once they are activated, we have to abide by the law of God until it changes.
Okay.
It comes down from the Elohim to the Melchizedek to the blue star, and then the orders are given. And the orders will be given.
Thank you. All right. So Akhenaten, do you have any questions for me or anything you else like to comment?
We wish for you to stabilize your people, however means possible. You have truth. All of you have your own truth. Be a community. Be strong. And be wise about your decisions. Because it comes down to that. Because at the end of the day, a clone, a human, an android, whatever you choose, you are here. And you're living a life. And you're working. And you're mingling with other humans. That's what matters. Don't be the problem. Be the answer. And work with us.
Akhenaten, are you? Would you consider the Kemet civilization? Would that be a pre-Adamite, or is that a totally different group of humanoids?
Not familiar with this.
Pre-Adamites are
pre-Adamites.
They immigrated from Mars and they put their bodies in stasis in Antarctica, and their soul consciousness operates, say, like the Black nobility or the Rothschild family or the Black Pope, the Black nobility bodies and the banking families through the pre-Adamites, and they're typically like cannibals. So, yeah. Would that
They're the vapors. It's a vapor. It can travel from one to another. And if your body is not solid, it can go into you.
We're talking
Yes.
about possession now.
Yes.
Interesting.
And
But
this is what is happening because they're coming from under the earth and they're coming out. And the vapor is coming out. And it's creating havoc. And you're seeing truths of this coming out, of this darkness.
can
This
you
is
comment,
breaking the law.
can you comment about the Vatican? What we might see in the future with the
Okay, this is Robyn. Sorry.
Robyn? Okay.
Okay, hold on.
Am I
This
even
is
going
a-
right? Are you okay with these lines of questions? Because I can.
Yeah, no, this is a huge topic for me. Hold on. Let me go back in. It's funny you brought that up. Hold on.
I mean, surely they would have looking glass technology and seen potential future timeline.
They are working with the Draco. They have many caverns underneath the Vatican, and they have rooms. They have made their evilness and their acceptance of the Draco right in front of your face. It's right in front of your face. Do you know what I'm saying?
Are
Do
you
you
referring?
remember there is a building that they built? Inside looks like the mouth of a snake. The outside looks like a snake. It's right in front of your face. They are with them. They are them. They drink their blood to live everlasting. And they're
Are you?
ruling Christianity from the Vatican. That is not the people that are worshiping the religion. It is straight from the Pope down, are the evilest entities, and they have been drinking the blood of reptilians and the Dracos to be everlasting. They worship them.
And can you comment about Vril? It's like a type of reptilian that puts a proscobus, I think it's called, like a little worm-like creature comes out of its antenna and it goes into the eye, where they call it the Black Eye Club. Is that Vrilled humanoids? Is that what these Vatican people are?
Is this the black
Club?
the black reptilians?
Well, they kind of look like a little gremlin-like creature, reptilian gremlin.
Oh,
Like, I don't know,
gargoyle.
gargoyles,
They're
maybe.
They're
Yeah.
evil.
So is that what's
I
running them, or is it just more than that? Just all that?
No, they are a part. They are a nuisance. They are, I don't know how you say it.
Vril.
They are a nuisance. They are a manufactured species that do the tasks and the dirty deeds that need to be done, I can say.
Okay. Thank you. So our free will has been interfered with by these different groups. So what does the Federation think about that? How humanity has basically been turned into a slave race.
We are. We are becoming a slave planet. This one is channeled on that exact same thing, that this world is becoming a slave trade planet. God has taken this planet down several times with bombs, with floods to repair it, and you keep coming back to the most evilest part, but not so much evil as we have just two segments of humanity. You have the good and you have the evil. We don't have gray anymore. You are the majority. You are the majority, allowing a few to control you and harm your children and take your children and go against the law of one. What is your responsibility? And we cannot intervene until it is time. And when we intervene, be careful.
Okay, thank you for that. Okay, right. So what can we do to awaken humanity? They just stay asleep. I mean, I've been doing this for
Sometimes
14 years, but yeah, go ahead.
stay the course, because all that work now is coming to fruition. Do you understand?
Okay, certainly. Sort of like a dam is about to break.
It's a timeline, James. You're in succession with your timeline. And then there is a timeline that is casted all around you. And once that timeline and your timeline come in sync, that is when you will have your true mission, your true knowledge, and the earth will reform.
Wow, thank you.
Does this make sense?
Yes, thank you. All right. Well, I appreciate. Thank you, Akhenaten. I appreciate for your participation here today. And do you have any final messages, or should you want to bring Zephyr in, or until we bring Zephyr in?
Yeah, give me a second. This Robyn.
Okay, sure.
Zephyr standing over here, like with his arms folded, like, are you gonna let me talk? Hold on. Like, jeez. Hey, James, he says, Zephyr has actually a great spot in his heart for you, because he knows how far you've come. And to be honest with you, James, he wants to put the super soldier of you right now, just for a second, aside. And as you, as a human being, sorry, I'm saying human being, you have come a long way. You have come out of the trenches, as we said, of the Montauk. You have come out of the trenches of certain, can I say, abuses, to become the man that you are now. So if you put your super soldier in with your entity, you are a strength to be reckoned with. Your people, super soldiers, we have known several. I'm going to say Tony Rodriguez. Tony Rodriguez went through hell. This man's memories, we walk with him constantly because he is a good man. And he is living with such memories. And yet he's here to help the environment. We wish all of you, with your memories, with your strengths, to understand what you have gone through and keep working, keep going, and keep helping each other. We rehabilitated one of the worst super soldiers. We did it. He did it. We broke him, and now he is here to help you. So trust in that.
Wow, thank you.
Any question?
Yeah, so according to Peter the Insider, I was at Montauk for 30 years, or 33 years more specifically. And during that time, they would have kept us at a certain age, kept us in the cages, and send us back.
Interdimensional.
So
they kept you interdimensional.
It was in a pocket reality, I believe, right? Outside, it was outside of time. So in my book, I write about how the I was talking to the Andromedans, and then I basically I pierced the pocket reality, and they came in and rescued us. Does Zephyr have any information about that? Like how they mounted the rescue? If yeah,
we will call them. This one has channeled wizards. We have wizards. They're of utmost intelligence. They are of neutrality. They are not good and they are not evil. They work for money, for whatever they can attain. We bring them in to find pockets like things like this. And through their intelligence, we were able to redeem, find, and recover. Let me tell you something also. When you were born upon this earth, you come down through a spiritual tube to go into to baby. You're the baby. You were followed. Now we have certain angels and warring angels that came down with you because we know who you are. And there was substances, darkness, and Anunnaki that were waiting for you. So there was a fight that ensued. You were marked. They were able to mark you. Then you were born. When you were a toddler, and we have talked about this before, that you had 2 visitations. You had Man in Black find you. Remember me saying, Robyn saying this to you? And she said that they found you and they activated a mark, and then you had a second visitation of that mark. So this is how they find you. So you have either implants, certain marks, and a lot of it is organic.
Interesting. Well, my records show that my date of birth is blacked out, and I talked to multiple psychics about it, and they said that essentially it's because I wasn't born on that date. What happened is they made multiple clone copies of me, and they put one in my mom, and she had it for up to the age of 2.5 or 3, and then I was put in its place. So my soul is in both of these bodies. That other aspect went off to be a super soldier, and I continued my life here. Can Zephyr comment about that? Is there
you were not into 2 bodies. You were a walk-in.
Okay.
You were transferred from one body to another.
Through projects? Okay. Peter the Insider said my records show I was James Martin Rillsberg in 1979. I died in Persia. I was U.S. Army Delta 1. Was it that aspect of a soul, or is it? I mean, there's a whole multi-dimensionality to all this. Could have been through Montauk. Yeah. Where did my aspect begin?
Montauk.
Okay.
They broke your soul into 2.
I'm sorry, what? They broke my what?
Montauk broke your soul into 2.
Okay. So it's outside its pocket reality. But at this point, Montauk would have been shut down, I would assume. This pocket reality was pierced.
It's interdimensional. You can go back and forth in time.
Okay. Understood. Okay. All right. So is that why it's so difficult, maybe for me or a lot of people that were in these programs, to have memories, because these memories were outside of time, and it's sort of like a dream where there is no time, right?
Time is just of Earth. There is no time. It's just dimensions. Okay. It's codes and sequences that we drive on. So it's how we code, how we change it. You could go back and forth in time. You can be here in spirit one time, and then you can be a walk-in at another time.
Interesting.
You have to realize that all of you have a thing called Akashic records. And these records are your own personal history. And they are recorded. And some of you get confused over those Akashic records because that's where some of the memories are propelling from. Is that you are deriving and remembering your Akashic records, which is your own personal book of history. But some of you are broken into. Montauk was evil. It was doing things that were against the God code. It was complexity and a derivative of evil. And we're sorry that this happened to you.
It is what it is. So thank you. Okay, so let's see here, guys. How come I didn't turn out? A lot of the people that go through these programs turn out crazy, I guess you could say, unstable, self-destruct. How come I was able to push through it all? And
Are you talking about you?
yes, me. So, or some of the others.
Because I am your guide.
Oh, Zephyr was guiding me.
I'm your guide.
Oh, okay. So even through Montauk, I guess, but I guess you weren't really there. If we were out
No, not then.
Okay, understood.
No.
Yeah, interesting. Okay. How about could you tell us a little bit more about what happened when? Okay, back up. Through Montauk, is that when I was sent off to this slave world and became this general? Did they recruit me from Montauk, a clone body of me, my consciousness? Is that like a parallel time track, or is this? Do you understand the question? When Zephyr, helped me.
Wait. There's 3 of you. 3.
Yeah.
They took your consciousness, your spirit, and they sold it. They sold you. They sold you for a time, for experimental purposes.
Understood.
I don't know where you went, but I do believe this is what you're talking about.
Certainly. And could Zephyr explain why exactly they want my DNA? What makes it more so special?
Because of who you are. Because who you began. You don't realize how powerful you are. You don't realize where you were. None of you remember how special you are to this whole realm of reality. If you knew that, you would stand tall and fight. You, James, were full of the light of intelligence. You were the scholar of all universes. You knew everything. That's why they want you. Because you hold the keys and sequences in your soul.
It's interesting you mentioned that because I remember Peter the Insider would tell me this story where they had another clone body of me, and Leonard Nimoy was there. It was at Monarch Solutions, and they were asking me questions, and I was answering all these questions like I could answer anything. I knew everything.
If you loosen your mind, you will release that knowledge.
All right. Okay, so let's describe. So this aspect of me was on another world, a slave planet, and I was a super soldier, general, or leader. Could you describe a little bit more about what happened? Please. Thank you.
Yes. So the planet, how this works is we research, and this planet was deemed catastrophic in the slave trade. There is 10 entities, 10 species that were being harmed. There's children. That's what gets us the most, is children of any species, in a sense. These entities love to take innocence, and this we cannot allow. We went for negotiations. We tried to negotiate with you to let them go. We start with negotiations. We bring ambassadors down to negotiate, or we bring you to us, whatever the means. And you did not listen. You didn't think we were as strong as we were, and you failed. You did not listen. We conquered and we destroyed. and we released those that were in peril, in bondage, and some unto death. You were in control of this planet. You were using your intelligence in the wrong realm. Thus, we needed to take you out. We were actually after you. Because once we took you out, then we could probably imprison the rest that were following you. We had to take the leader out. That's why we were there. It was a large building, large corridor, and there was dozens of you. You're like swarming us. And so we were back to back. We had lasers, firepower. Something you don't know about Fejb is she has fire in her, and it comes from her heart. And she can blow in a sonic boom and destroy. She's coming at you because you were our target. And she was going to take you out immediately. And then she stopped. It's not like her to ever become compromised. And then we saw that you stopped. Then you know the rest of the story. Then we understood, once we captured you, why we had you. So you could go two ways. Either we needed to have your destruction, or we could see if we could bring you back. And that is why you're here, because you rehabilitated and you brought your life back. Does this answer your question?
Yes. So, does that ever happen where you guys just stop fighting and you just capture? Yeah. Was that unusual?
Not here. We knew this planet. We actually ended up destroying the whole planet. It is gone. The
Why?
whole planet is evaporated. So you could not reside again on it. It was in your system. So if we destroy the planet, then it would be gone and you can use it no longer.
So was it like infected with black goo? AI?
No. Worse. It was worse.
And what could be worse than black goo?
It was a ship. The planet was a ship.
Oh.
It was a ship inside. And the ship was a controller of your whole universe.
Wow. Okay. And so you took me, hold on. Did you either take me on a spaceship or another planet initially when you had the body?
We took you, you're paralyzed from the neck down. We took you onto the lemurian's ship. We kept you there for a while. We stayed there and trying to figure out what to do with you. And we waited till Fejb came in because it was Fejb's choice. And when she came in and brought the light to your forehead, and she showed you your life, and you casted a tear. We can't tell you how joyous that was. I know it's such a small fraction of humanity, but that was a breaking moment in all of our lives to see that tear fall from your eyes. And then what happens then is we take you to a reparative planet. It is kind of like a jail because we still didn't trust you. We had to make sure we could trust you. So you were imprisoned for a long time. We're going to have to end this in a minute because this vessel's weakening.
Understood. Thank you, Zephyr. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. One more question.
Okay. Oh gosh. Oh, one more question. It's like asking a genie. What's one more question? Could you tell us what do you think we'll see first contact on our timeline? Is it coming soon?
Yeah. Yes. Yes, you've had first contact. Many of you had contact. Let me tell you something that you may not know is we come down in holograms in 3D. So a lot of times when we come down to visit your colonels and your military, because we have met with them, Alon has met with them several times. I have met with them. Akhenaten has met with them through portals. We come down as holograms because we don't trust you. We cannot come down in solid form at this time. We come down as holograms and we do the business that needs to be done. And these are things that we can't tell you exactly what we're doing, but we have pulled back. Right now, we have pulled back from dealing with your military all over your worlds, and we are now waiting for our next assignment.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Thank you for sharing, Zephyr. Appreciate it.
I am with you always, James. Okay, I'm coming out.
I understand. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Did we lose everybody?
That was pretty good. What do we do about 35 minutes?
Well,
a lot of people that channel can only do maybe like 15 minutes, and
I
so
know.
I appreciate it.
That's longest I've channeled, I think.
Okay, yeah. Thank you for letting us know that you need to stop too. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's see here, audience members. We have Sanitarium Radio. Whoa, dang, that was cool. And here we have Ascension says, thank you, Robyn.
That's nice. Thank you.
Mark says, we will be set
It wasn't
free.
me. I'm just a vessel.
Great job. Thank you. Wow. I guess Zephyr was one of my spirit guides. Okay. So,
Yes.
So, we learned quite a bit. So, essentially, I guess humanity's got a lot more work to do, but I guess it's all about making the decision to be a good person. There's no point in your life that you can always change and be a good person, and we can all bring about disclosure together. Because
I think you're an example of that. And I teach on my channel, Mastering Self. I think that's what we're here for, no matter what memories you have, what's going on, mastering self.
Right. Interesting.
But it's hard to do. It's not easy.
Yeah. So I guess through, I know I wasn't really quite clear if it was through Montauk, that other aspect of me materialized, or I mean, they have multiple clones of me. But it seems like maybe AI was sort of took my aspect over in that other reality there.
I don't think he could. I think the information he gave you was real. I don't think he could see into that. I don't think he just knows it's real. He knows what you went through is real. I don't think he knows exactly what happened.
Okay.
That might be something I'd have to go in and channel, because I can go, I can remote view a little bit, maybe go into that aspect of your life, as long as it's not. But if it's dark, I can't walk there, and I think it might be a little dark for me.
Yeah, especially asking questions about Montauk and what some of the kids were utilized for. 33 years would have been quite a bit extensive amount of time, because essentially what they would do sometimes is send the person back through time, and they could serve for 10 years and come back, and then for a few hours, and then they'll send them off a mission again. So I could potentially be gone for thousands of years.
And I think like alternate reality and the dimensional pull, the interdimensional he was talking about, that you can go back and forth. I don't think we realized how much that pertains to us. That we're just not humans in one cell, that there's so much more about us.
Interesting. Okay. Thank you. And we have Michael Johnson mentioning, not all of Montauk be within the Akashic records?
Should not all the Montauk. it has to be recorded. If it's happened to you, it has to be recorded, good and bad. And I think, to be honest with you, it's good that it's recorded, because that's how certain entities, even benevolent, can read it, because they can't touch that area, but they can read what happened to you. And so it has to be recorded. We have to know about it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I've had a few people do some remote viewing on that, and what they actually found is the Akashic. It looked like it's in like a pocket reality, another dimension where this exists, but actually visiting the facility looked a lot like the castle that you would have seen at in the Harry Potter movies of Hogwarts. Walking
Really?
inside, yes. So there's like a library in there with like dragons. Fireplace, and it's like a portal to the Draco realm, but then they have other portals, the other realities, and a school, like an educational facility where people are being taught through outside of time. So yeah.
But you have met with different people that are from Montauk, correct?
Yeah, certainly. We have
Okay.
just released a channel message from Max Spears, and yeah, we knew each other at Montauk, but there was hundreds of kids, that were being utilized continuously, but about 300,000 children went through the program, and many of these disappeared through the time tunnels.
Wow, 300,000?
That's according to Stuart Swirlow. Other eyewitnesses says closer to 100,000, but I would think maybe children go missing, so they didn't really die per se, but missing is. But
yeah.
I like to think that maybe they escaped would be a better term, because that's what we were seeing. A lot of children were going down the time tunnels to escape, and but some of these children haven't even been born yet, because it exists outside of time, and yeah. So, but just glad that pocket reality has been shut down, and those people involved have been arrested, and the children helped. But okay, let's see here.
Yeah, you talked that you can I say something? You talked
Absolutely.
about one time I think you were talking about one time on one of your shows about being a super soldier and getting money from it, like saying they owed you. Do you remember which one I'm talking about?
Yeah, let's see here. I'm pretty sure Solar Warden doesn't pay you anything, but like in Nachtwaffen,
Yeah.
would have offered what I heard was $40,000 a year. I guess that's if you're probably like a slave rank. And what they were supposed to do is put it in an account so that one day it would just show up in your bank account. And also you're not supposed to pay any taxes. So even like sales tax, of course, obviously property tax. I mean, all these taxes are supposed to be refunded. As another thing they promised you. But ultimately what happened is they just wipe your mind at the end of the service. So then they can just keep the money, but I think
I don't think you're going to do
it. That I'm not going to see it.
I think they're not going to do it to you.
Yeah. Well,
no, and maybe when things break apart and things are exposed, retribution may be made.
Well, that's what I like to see.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, maybe when the Saint Germain Trust is finally cracked open, and people are humanity is placed onto their own Star Trek future timeline. Yeah, we'll probably see that. But so that's in the case of Nachtwaffen, but a lot of them just, of course, like they didn't pay us at Montauk, but that also poses the question: if you accept money, does that mean you consent? So, but at this point, I think people should just get paid. It doesn't matter if let's just get it.
Yeah.
One of my altars, my James Ring altar on the moon, what they had told him is that the James Ring aspect here on planet Earth was getting paid money by selling my DNA. So I'm getting abducted on a daily basis by some Greys, and they are utilizing my DNA to make clones. So they're selling them off in the state. Yeah. So my DNA.
That's your the wounds on your body.
Yeah. I get.
Yeah.
Use scoop
Your
samples.
target. Well, they want your DNA because of who you are.
Yeah, and they can sell these different clones out there. So I just told an aspect that I'm not getting paid in it. I wouldn't even want money. That's just so
I was
yeah,
gonna
there's
say,
a
do you
lot of
want money for that?
no, absolutely not. I would that would mean I would consent, right? So but
Yeah.
yeah,
Like,
the
here,
slave
have my
trade,
DNA for.
yeah, it's a huge problem and it's still going on. So that's why I get a little upset when there's other people in our community that are promoting the idea that Nachtwaffen is cleared up and that all the reptilians are gone and that there's no more abductions. It's just not true. So
I've been
yeah.
hearing that, and no. Okay, can I give you an example? Florida, the mall, when those entities came out. So I did a channeling where our universe now is locked down. I feel like we're locked down because we're in the last stages of the evolvement of our universe. These entities were trying to get out because they needed to get out to get provisions. They go back and forth, back and forth. They got stuck because they couldn't get out. So they landed on the surface of the mall. And so I really do believe that happened. And I do believe that they were tall black entities. And they were then trying to figure out how to get back in. And I think they had a rude awakening because this is just me, that I feel that we are locked down right now. And whoever's here is staying here. And this is going to be for our evolution at the end.
Okay. Well, according to eyewitnesses, people in the mall claimed that there were a group of teenagers fighting amongst themselves over a VCR looking box. Is this not true? You don't agree with that?
No.
Do you think that was misinfo that was put out there?
Well, you wouldn't have that many policemen just come for that. Did you see how many police were coming? It was like the whole town of police were there.
Okay, but
and I don't believe that where they zoomed in and they thought those were aliens walking back and forth. Do you remember that piece of footage where someone was on a building and they were zooming in and there's a bunch of police cars and you saw something weird walking back and forth?
Yeah.
That was not them. They were black. They were like more of a fume, half solidified.
Okay.
No. I do believe that happened.
Okay. Well, essentially,
some people were riding the wagon on that for YouTube clicks.
Okay, but Robyn, just to finish the story, they said that a portal opened up, and then these beings started coming through, and they seemed like they were confused because I think they're not used to people seeing them. They weren't expecting that, and also they weren't even afraid of the police. They were kind of, it looks like maybe they were phasing through objects, not fully in our dimension. So I'm guessing they would have sent the Men in Black Division 6 of ACIO in there to help clean up the situation. But I feel like that we're going to see a lot more of this in the future. So
I think you will. I think you will. And I think you're going to see it in places that like vague places, like in forests. You're going to see portals and things coming through there too also, because it's easier access.
Yeah, well, years ago, Oksana did a reading on that, and she said by 2028, the fairy realms, the elemental realms, they're all going to be phasing through, so we'll be able to see into these other dimensions. And it'd be nice to see maybe a leprechaun city one day.
Well, that would be interesting. I'll take the pot of gold.
The Irish, that's in some gold too. Okay. All right. Let's see. We're at an hour and a half. Does anybody here have any questions? Mark is asking what about Nesara. Do you have any information about Nesara, Robyn?
Oh, how do I know that name?
The National Economic Security and Reformation Act. It was passed by Congress in the year 2000, signed by Bill Clinton in 2001. It was supposed to be announced at 10 a.m. on September 11th, 2001. at, of course, 9 a.m., the World Trade Center, where the banking computers were hit with a missile or covered by a hologram. And they also said the same thing happened into the Pentagon building, where the Office of Naval Investigations, who were in charge of the transition to the new constitutional. You know about the story? You know about this, Robyn? You heard about this?
No. I know about what you're talking about. I do believe the Pentagon, there's something really wrong with that situation. That wasn't what happened. There was no planes or anything that went into that building. It was bombs from the inside out. It was something from the inside out.
It was satellite weapons with the like vaporized the building, like you saw we had in Lahaina, where
yeah. Isn't that sad? See, this is what's scary, is that they can start these fires. They can just take out so much. Look what they're doing in Texas too, and that's what I think they were trying to talk about. Akhenaten, is we're damaging ourselves. These people are damaging us. They're trying to take our food supply away. They're trying to do just all these things. We need to clean up our skies, and I really think that the skies are going to be one of the first that are going to get hit. They're going to take down the satellites. We're going to start taking down a lot of stuff that's out there. Hopefully soon. But sorry, I don't know much about Nesara. No.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the satellites are all, a lot of it's just a tracking and monitoring system, where not only are they can take photographs, they can also create a whole 3-dimensional virtual reality aspect of everything, and then run it through a quantum supercomputer. And a lot of this technology, the quantum, 80% of the internet is actually from Mars. The German cybernetic labs on Mars produce the content, and it's been transported back to this planet through the jump rooms. So there's over 1,000 jump rooms on this planet, where the elites have access, because they wanted to create a transhumanism type timeline by 2060. But you know, we're all kind of we're breaking away from all that, so we can all.
Yes. You're going to see this really start controlling our world, and it will come to a time where we're not going to know what's true. We're not going to know.
And then then humanity is going to be looking to us. You know, that we were considered the black sheep. You probably out there, listener, you might be the black sheep in your family, or like people, like as soon as you go to a family event and you open your mouth and then people are like rolling their eyes, your other family members, you might know what that's like. So in the future,
you have to be careful what you say, because people in the outside realm of this is our safe spot right here. But people outside, no, you don't say anything.
But in the future, they will start asking you that. They're like, oh, well, why is there all these spaceships up here? Like, what is this about?
They will start making sense. We will have contact. Hold on. You know what? I really see Africa. I feel something around Africa. Something about Africa, the lands of Africa are like a sacred. And I think there is something left there. That's all I know. That's all I can see.
Oh yeah,
something about Africa.
The Black Panther, Wakanda. Is it Wakanda? The Wakanda civilization is gonna come out and let everybody know. Oh, by the way, we're here, but bring a camera crew in there.
Well, people are going to start walking through portals. They're just going to be walking out. And I also, in my book, I have Prince Nibiru. And I know Nibiru is a naughty word in the realms, but I think there's a good Nibiru and Prince Nabuta. And they are both going to bring their the African American race is a very special race. They are high energy, and he calls it his people have to be here because we have to have their energy. And the culprit, the evil culprit, knows that, and that's why they suppress certain races that they can't raise to their full potential, because that would be paradise. So this race and something about Africa is very, very important to humanity at some time in disclosure. And I know that sounds really odd because no one thinks about Africa. That's what I got.
Right. Well, we've had people come on the show discuss about other alternate timelines where the CIA did not go in there and create all these basically despotic states of, banana republics, you can say. So
I love
Africa
that.
Africa has a tremendous amount of resources. If the white, hate to say it, the white man left them alone to their own devices, they would have become the most wealthy region on the whole planet. So, but I do feel like that's going to happen in the future when we go to our transition to a 5D civilization. We're all going to be set free from this slave world. So.
Yeah, the earth will reconstitute itself, and the earth will never die. So everybody thinks that the earth is going to not exist. The earth will never die. It's those that reside on the earth that could have a hard time.
Okay.
I really feel the earth will always be here. It depends who controls it.
All right. Let's see. Any other questions? Or Sanada crew on Earth? The shit show is coming to close at a close at a rapid pace. So, yeah.
You can feel that, can't you? I mean, have you guys ever heard something wicked this way comes? You can feel something that's in the air right now, and it's moving quickly. And okay. I can't see exactly what it is, but something's coming our way.
Do you feel like perhaps the United States might go through a civil war scenario where the dollar will collapse and all these illegals coming through the border will get activated, start blowing up, the power grid or agricultural facilities?
I think we talked about that. Our government's going to break apart. We are going to, and I keep wanting to see something about this presidential race, and I don't care who wins. I don't care, but something is going to happen. I can't see it, but I feel it. And our government has to be broken apart and totally restructured, because everybody got to get out. We got to redo it. And something's going to happen. And I think it's going to come from those up there, that if disclosure happens, something's going to happen to set foot upon. I think America is going to be the example. And I think we have farther to fall. We're not broken apart enough yet. I think we have farther to fall, but we're not going to have complete suffering here. I think a lot of the world is going to have more suffering than we are going to have suffering. But something has to totally break apart. And I told you that I saw, and your group might think this is weird, I saw Washington, D.C., because it's not a part of the United States, right? It's its own entity. I saw China or Japan taking over Washington, D.C., and they totally ruled it. So if what I saw happens, I feel whoever runs our country, it will become a military, they will be residing in more of a military stance. We will not have the White House or anything anymore. All that will be somehow foreign. And then we, the people, will restructure ourselves, and it will have to restructure. And I do see each state coming together and being a stronghold. So like I live in Idaho. Idaho's going to shut down, and we're going to work together, and we're going to, keep ourselves safe. Chicago, same kind of thing. Each state, I think, will have to go into their own mode, their own military, and have a safe hold there. And that's where I think the restructure will start happening.
Okay, but do you see the actual Chinese invading 100 million army invading the United States, and or do you just see maybe I don't know, the Chinese don't do that, and I guess it's just these sleeper illegals that are coming across the border. It just takes some time to take care of all them.
Well, that's a whole nother story. This is all planned. Everything that's happening is devised. It's been devised for years, and now it's just happening. We've had people coming into our country secretly for years and years and years. Now they're starting to bring in the masses to start activating. And some of these groups coming in will work with our, like I told you, our gangs that are already established here in the United States will start joining these people. So it makes them larger. Whatever happens in the United States is going to happen all at one time. It's not going to be Chicago goes down and New York goes down, and then over here someone else goes down, California later. It's all going to happen one time, and it's going to be a frenzy. And that's why I see the states coming into play and shutting their states down and repairing their states and having martial law in their states, not as a bad thing, but as a protective thing. Does that make sense?
So, Robyn, do you think it'll be like an EMP situation where the power would go out the entire country at the same time, and the internet too, our communication channels?
Well, I think it could go out for a while, but I think it'll come back fast. Because I think it would do them no service to have no communication, because they want to put the fear in us, and a lot of it will be a false fear. Does that make sense? Because they use that to promote the fear.
Well, I feel like the White Hats, at least I've been told, they have technology and underground facilities right now to quickly bring the power grid back up, and within 2 weeks. And when they do bring it back up, it'll be free energy, so you won't be paying for the electricity anymore.
No, we shouldn't have to pay for energy. It's all there. Yeah, we have that. We have the capability. Cars can run on different things too than gas too. I think we just have it all there. They just keep it suppressed because it doesn't make money.
All right. Okay. All right. So shall we call it?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Robyn.
Yeah, I'm gonna sleep good tonight, I think.
Yes.
You wore me out, James.
I know. Usually, like the next day, I'm also kind of like exhausted. Yeah, I'm exhausted too. But maybe listeners, you might be exhausted by just listening to all this. But hopefully, you learned something here today. I appreciate it. And Robyn, let's maybe we can. I want to do maybe a few more sessions, and we can start doing some more research together, and we can put together more reports for our listeners here. And of course, I know you have your channel. So let's see here. What's your YouTube channel called?
It's Robyn Hyatt, the Blue Star.
Very good.
And I have about 358 channeling sessions on there right now.
Wow. So, wow.
Yeah,
thank you, Robyn.
I've been doing it almost as long as you, but I just keep mine quiet. You know, I just feel the people that want to come to my channel, come to my channel, you know. So
I understand. Wow. Okay. So go over there and subscribe, and you should also go consider setting up a backup channel on Rumble, Robyn, because you know the censorship. It is what it is. Just make sure you have I hope you have a backup. Have you backed it all up?
Well, not yet.
Okay. Need to do
but,
that.
I do have a Rumble channel. I just haven't put stuff on it yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And you also do some channeling sessions on Patreon. Got your email address.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
On Patreon, I do some where if you want to subscribe for free, you can do it for free. Because I try to do a channeling a week, and I go really deep into the alien information on there. So if you really want to know about certain things, it's probably covered there. I think I have about 300 sessions there too. So I try to be fair. So I don't like people to have to always pay to, see these things. So if you want to pay, I appreciate it. If you don't, I try to do free things for you too.
Thank you. Thank you for that. All right. And you also have an Etsy shop.
I do. My book is on Etsy, and I do readings on Etsy. And you were talking about I do a lot of readings for those that have crossed over. That's because that's how I started. But I also do readings for anybody. And my readings are a little bit different because I spend a week on them. And then I tape record it. And there's one reading I have where I'll do a personal channeling. And I try to tap into your guide. I have my guide try to tap into your guide and pull out as much information. And so I spend all week getting information. And then I just blow you away with all of it. And I'm a person too that if you have questions after I do a reading, message me. And because I want you to understand everything fully and I don't drop you after I'm done, you can ask me 20 more questions after the reading and I will answer them for you for free.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you, Robyn.
Yeah.
All right. And of course, your contact information is in the description, all the links for everybody who wants. Okay. So guys, if you want to learn more about what I do, you can get a copy of my book, Lone Wolf, go into the secret space program and some of the missions I was on and different types of super soldiers. If you want to support the work that I do, you can go to Healing Soul Survivors and make a donation. I do appreciate that. As you know, YouTube does not allow me to monetize anything. And of course, I'm even surprised I'm even still on here, but yeah, get yourself a meditation cube to help you relax. You can put this on your lap and meditate for about 30 minutes a day. And it helps to calm down your body of PTSD. And and that is what my nonprofit is for, Healing Soul Survivors. We are for helping people PTSD, which also sponsors Super Soldier Talk.
Yep.
All right.
Awesome.
And I will be in Los Angeles on April 11th to the 14th. So if you want to come and hear me speak, send me a message and I can get you in there. But I need to put you on the list. It's a $100 door donation. But it's just, I'll make it work. So, all right, everybody, have a good night or good day, wherever part of the world you are or whatever time. And we will all see you later. Thank you, Robyn.
Bye.
See you all later. Bye.
Bye.
Please consider supporting Super Soldier Talk by purchasing your own Neo Meditation device. Your Neo Meditation device will help you reduce stress, integrate trauma, enhance intuition, enhance clairvoyance, and enhance creativity. Get yours now at www.neologicaltech.com.